Hey friends! My name is Desiree, aka Mommafriendly, and I do all sorts of videos on my channel, from cooking videos to planner videos, vlogs, hauls, homeschool videos with a Disney twist, a little bit of everything. So if any of that sounds like fun to you, I hope you'll subscribe and join me on my YouTube adventure. Today's video is a revisiting, what have you, of a video that I first put out last year, and you guys seem to really enjoy that video, so I thought I would do it again this year in 2023. I'm gonna share with you all what I got my kiddo for Christmas this year. Now, not all of this is for my son. I'm also buying for my two 10-year-old nephews, my twin nephews, and for my toddler nephew. He's 2.5, almost 3 years old. So this is going to span a wide range of ages. Also keep in mind that my son is on the autism spectrum and his interests tend to veer a little on the younger side. I also have a lot of sensory type things included here for that reason. Obviously I'm buying for him, so I'm buying things that he enjoys. But if you have kiddos in about that 2 to 12 age range, or you have somebody in your life that's on the autism spectrum or has sensory processing needs, you're gonna wanna stick around for this. Now, anytime I mention literally anything in this video, I'm going to do my absolute best to find a link to it for you and put it in the description box below, so that if it's something that you feel you might benefit from, whether for your kiddo or someone else, you can easily find it in that link. With all that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into it, shall we? So starting off, I've got this advent calendar. Sorry for the light, that's going to happen probably a lot throughout the video. But I have an advent calendar here. This is a fidget calendar, so every day it's going to give us a different sort of fidget or stimming toy. And we've done these in the past, I think for the last couple years. Every year they update it a little bit, but it's pretty similar. Kiddo really enjoys this though. And we've done tons of other kinds of advent calendars in the past. We've done some where every day it's a different holiday themed Disney book, and that was a lot of fun. I've been known to get myself a gluten and dairy free kind of chocolate advent calendar, so that's nice too. There's tons of options, and again, I'm going to try my best to link all of them down below. That's the last time I say that, I promise. Again, if you're seeing me show it to you, chances are there's going to be a link in the description box. Now into the actual gifts. There's so much stuff all over the place that I really don't even know where to start. And I'm probably not going to specify who it's for. Just, again, understand that this is for all the different age ranges and like developmental ages that I discussed earlier. Kind of trying to take everything out now so that I could put it back away as I go. So starting off, we've got some Minecraft Legos. I feel like this is going to be very popular in the 8 to 12 age range for boys and girls alike. So we have one set here with this little like panda fortress situation. And I've got another set. This is, what is this? It just says building toy. Oh, the Sword Outpost. I don't play Minecraft. My nephews are super into it though, so they're also really into Legos, so we've got that. Picky Kitty. This is a very simple board game, and it's kind of a chance-based game. You roll a little dial or whatever, you spin a dial, it tells you what foods to feed the kitty, and eventually the kitty will puke on you, and that's how you know you've lost the game. But it's a fun way to keep kiddos entertained, work on turn taking, work on counting, so I thought that that would be a fun one. We have these very big floor puzzles. And my son is really into puzzles. These are cool because when they're completed, they're like 3 feet by 2 feet. They almost look like extra large welcome mats almost. And so I've got ocean animals here, and I've got busy bugs. But not gonna lie, I got him like 6 of these this year. I'm not planning to have them all out at once. Obviously on Christmas he can open all of them, but I'm gonna probably only have like 2 or 3 out at a time, and then I'll rotate them in and out throughout the year because I don't want my entire house to just be wall-to-wall puzzles, and that will happen if I allow it. But yeah, he really loves those, and they're nice and colorful. They're easy to do but still entertaining, so we got a bunch of those. he's really into these sound books lately, and we love Encanto around here. So I got him an Encanto sound book. We got a Cars sound book. Pausing for yet another airplane. I don't know what it is about my recording, because we're in this room all the time for therapy and I never hear airplanes, but whenever I sit down here to record, every airplane in the South Florida area decides to fly by my house. Okay, moving on. We've got this very fun little like wooden bead maze situation, and this is actually a really fun stim toy, but it's also great for younger kiddos. So we got that. I've got this big old set of Minecraft books. It's like guides. So if you look here, it's like guide to exploration, guide to redstone, guide to creative. I genuinely don't know what any of that means, but I'm hoping that my nephews appreciate and enjoy it, because when I say they're into Minecraft, I mean they're like really into Minecraft. Like, this is all they do with their lives. If they're not at school or sleeping, it's Minecraft. We recently got my son a Tony's box for his birthday. I'll have the actual box linked below, even though it's not going to be in this video, because it is necessary for the expansions, if you will, that I'm about to show you. But basically, it's a big cube with a little magnetic sort of platform on the top. And when you put different characters, which is what I got here, these little characters, each character comes with a story. I believe some of them are even musical. So yeah, so this one in particular, see, I got a Mickey, a Santa Mickey. I don't know if you could see him through the plastic. And this one back here says, audio play approximately 30 minutes with songs. And it talks to you about Christmas around the world. So pretty much think of it as like a podcast for kids, or even like an audiobook for kids, but the way that you access all the different stories and songs is through these little figurines here. So we got him Santa Mickey, as you've already seen. We got him Woody, and this also is 28 minutes with songs. I'm gonna assume all of them have songs. We've got a Minnie Mouse here, 20 minutes with songs. We've got, who are you? Mirabel. I told you we love Encanto around here. So here's that. This one's actually 52 minutes with songs. Very cool. And lastly, we got a Buzz Lightyear, and this one is 27 minutes with songs. So I'm thinking that it's probably like throughout the story we have music playing and whatnot, or maybe they actually like take breaks in the story to sing a song. Either way, if your kiddo likes being told stories, then this is a great way to get them interested in more stories, because you're going to have all the little figurines that you can collect as well. And they're not all Disney. They have like Paw Patrol themed ones. They have their own branded ones that have to do with different holidays or different like nursery rhymes and things like that. But we're very much a Disney fandom household, and I am going to obviously always buy things that kiddo is interested in if I'm going to use them as kind of a foot in the door to other things. He prefers visual stories, and there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but if we want to branch out into just listening mode, the way to get him to do that in particular is through Disney stories. So that's why I got all Disney themed ones. Speaking of Disney themed stories, we also got this right here. This is a set that brings 4 stories and a CD. I know a lot of people don't have CD players anymore. Even our computers don't really have CD drives, but we do still have a DVD player, and that DVD does play CDs in it, so that's why I got this. But if you remember, I know when I was a kid, and I'm probably dating myself here, but when I was in the 2nd, 3rd grade, we used to have a teacher that would give us these Disney books with the accompanying cassette, okay, a tape cassette that you'd put into your little boombox or your stereo, and you would read along with the cassette, and the cassette always had like a little chime, a diddly-ling, when it was time to turn the page, and I loved those. I made it a point to be the best student in the class, to read all of my stuff, all of my assigned things, etc., so that I could be the kid at the end of the week or month or whenever often it was that would go home with one of those little book and cassette kits. So I love the idea of those, and when I saw that they're still making them just in CD form, I thought, obviously it's time to pass along the love, right? So we got the Pixar set because my son seems to really gravitate towards this style of animation. It's got Toy Story, we've got Finding Dory, we've got Cars, and Inside Out. So it brings books for each of them, and I'm not sure if it's ACD. I'm thinking it's ACD with all 4 stories on it, but it'll be a nice fun read along. And again, this is introducing him to audio stories, but this also has the visual component where we get to follow along with the book. So I think he's really gonna like that. Oh my gosh, I thought I was almost done, but there's still like a huge box of things here. Okay. We've got Pop the Pig. It's another very simple children's board game. And this is also one that's very much luck based because you do have to spin the dial, and based on the dial you count how many little burgers you're gonna feed the pig, but randomly eventually he gets full and pops, and then the game's over. So again, we're working on turn taking, building vocabulary, etc., but it's also just a fun thing where kids don't even realize that they're learning and practicing these concepts. So we've got that here. This is for my son because we're still working on speech therapy and eliciting sounds on command, I guess, for lack of a better word. So this is a Hear Myself phone, and the point of this is really just to like make sounds into it, but then you hear yourself. So it's a cause and effect situation, and I'm hoping that that helps him kind of elicit more sounds. He's very chatty usually, but he has apraxia, and basically at its very, very like, you know, most basic, I don't know how else to say it, level, apraxia is kind of a lack of control of your muscles when put on command, I guess. So like if I tell him make an ah sound, that connection from his brain to his mouth is not typically going to work. However, he can run around all day going on his own because it's a different part of the brain that elicits spontaneous speech rather than on command speech or like put on the spot type speech. So I'm hoping that this will be a fun way for him to kind of show himself, oh, I can do this on command. If I want to hear myself, I have to make the sound. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously with things like this, it's never a like pressured situation. If he likes it, great, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. But we're gonna give it a try. This I think he's gonna really like. It's kind of like that diamond art that was so popular at the beginning of the pandemic, but it's with little like sticky, marbly, they almost look like bingo tokens. And we really love these sorts of like he has a tangram set that has a card and shows you the tangram, and then you just take the shapes and make it. So this is kind of that same concept with the little magnetic buttons and stuff, but he gets to look at the card and then recreate it over here. It's also going to help him with the pen control because, I mean, I suppose he could just pick them up and put them down with his hands, but this is going to be fun to use. So we got that. That does say ages 3 and up, by the way, so if you have little ones, be careful with that because those magnets are a choking hazard. These I think are super fun because I really love yoga and Kiddo likes watching me do yoga. So these are very big. You can see like my face for scale, right? These are big sort of felt flashcards with real kids. It's not drawings. Real kids in different yoga positions. So I think that this will be fun for getting some sillies out, for getting some mobility in, some gross motor, whenever we need a stimming break. This will be a cool thing to like, still following directions, but doing something fun and challenging. Next, we have another board game. This is another like chance-based board game. My son's speech therapist actually recommended this one. And once again, you're feeding the couch, which I think is pretty funny. You're putting stuff in the couch and he's eating it and eating it and eating it. And every once in a while he spits out a token at you. So he's kind of like paying you for the snacks, I guess. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most tokens wins. It's not a skill-based game. Once again, it's based on chance. So Kiddo has to learn to lose graciously because sometimes he's going to do all the things right and still lose. And that's fine, right? That's a good lesson to learn. We're still learning turn taking and just social skills and things like that with this, but we're also getting to listen to the couch burp and chomp and do all sorts of fun things. So that should make it exciting and interesting to do. Okay, we're hitting the home stretch. There's a lot of sensory type things in these last few things, a lot of books as well. So maybe like stocking stuffers and things like that. We've got a little readers books here with very simple words, very short stories. It's a great way to teach your child to read because they're fun and easily digestible stories, so they don't get bored halfway through. They're not super challenging, but challenging enough where they're still like being pushed to learn and expand their vocabulary. So we've got that. I got my son a body sock, and I think he's gonna love this. We were on the cusp between medium and large because he's very slim, but he's also very tall. And it said that when you're on this cusp of sizes like that, you should size down because the point of this is for it to be tight and to be compressing. But this is great because sometimes when he's feeling overwhelmed, the thing that helps him most is giving him squeezes, but sometimes he also just kind of wants his space. He doesn't necessarily want another person all up in his situation. So this way he can just kind of get into his little compression sock and get those squeezes all on his own without having to rely on somebody else, which is also awesome because it's fostering independence, right? He's getting his own needs met without having to depend on others for it, and we're all about that. So we've got that here. I think he's really gonna like that. We have a few of these actually right here. These are tilt and turn liquid sensory windows. So I remember I used to get stuff like this at the pharmacy when I was a kid. Those little like water toys that you have the marbles or the hoops or something inside. So this is just that. It's a big plastic window. This is quite heavy because it's filled with liquid. This one in particular has a bunch of little wavy plastic bits inside and then 3 marbles. So there's little holes in each of these wavy bits, and that way you can coerce them up or down or however you feel. But basically, it's something that is going to help kind of visually stim and like help calm my son if he wants something a little more relaxing than just regular screen time, or if he just needs a break from whatever he's doing, he can just chill out and use this. So that's cool. This is another one. See, this game in particular, I remember from my youth, from those pharmacy games. So you can see in the back here, you kind of just tilt it and move it around until you get the marbles in the little hoops, as it were, the little horseshoes. So that's very fun. And then lastly, we have a similar situation, but this is just a peg path. So you tilt and turn until you get all 3 balls through the path. It's got nice chunky handles and it's very easy to use, very easy to maneuver. And if nothing else, if it just gives my son something nice and soothing and calming to look at a time when he needs that, then it's done its job. We've got a few books here. Now this I actually got because it said Power Pen Learning, kind of like the Hot Dots. I don't know if they're still making Hot Dots, but it's the same concept where the book is set up with these little like magnetic dots. And I'm not sure if they're magnetic actually. I'm not sure what the technology is behind it, but the pen lets you know when you select the correct answer or not. I purchased this because I was under the impression that it came with the pen, and it doesn't. So I'm gonna have to look around and find the pen set. So there's that though. Eventually we're gonna get more stuff and flesh that all out so that he could actually use that as it's intended. I've got this nice little book here, F is for Feelings, and I feel like most kiddos could benefit from a book like this for emotional intelligence, understanding, empathy, etc. Something that everybody needs. And so I'm looking forward to reading that with Kiddo. More Disney books, and these also have CDs. So this is kind of like the ones I showed you all earlier, but these are individual stories as opposed to a set. So we have here Finding Nemo, and it's got its CD right here. We have Olaf's Frozen Adventure. We really love Frozen around here as well, obviously, right? Who doesn't? And lastly, we have Mickey's Christmas Carol. We're big fans of Mickey. We love holiday themed things, so that's what's up. This is just a silly little stocking stuffer because my son loves these polka dot books. Again, it's like that nice feedback, that nice sensory situation when you click them in. So we love that. And then it's Wild Animal Family, so I think it'll be fun to take this book to the zoo with us and we can hunt for all the different animals in the book. Hunting for animals is probably not the choice of words that I want to put there. But we can just look around the zoo and see what animals in the book match, and that'll give us another element, another thing to do with the book, you know, to expand our playtime with it. But I think he's really gonna like this, if nothing else, for the clicking aspect. And lastly, speaking of stocking stuffers, we got a bunch of Poppets. You guys already know for every season, for every holiday, I always get my son these little Poppet things because it's his favorite way to stim besides Chewies. I got him Chewies as well. I must have hid them already somewhere else because they're not in any of these boxes. But Chewies and Poppets are my son's favorite stimming toys. And so every opportunity I get, I basically replenish his store and get him new ones so that there's always something exciting to look for, something exciting to use. But yeah, guys, that's that. I didn't realize, as usual, just how much I bought this year. What I try to do typically is that I make out my Christmas list because we also have a ton of birthdays this time of year. So in September, I make out a list of everybody who's having a birthday, everybody that I intend to purchase for Christmas. And I also take note of how many weeks are left in the year. And every week I buy 1 or 2 gifts so that by this time of year, we already have everything bought, everything is handled, and I can spend all of December just chilling, hanging out, and waiting for Christmas to come around without having to stress about any sort of last minute runs to the store. But what happens because I'm buying bit by bit by bit is sometimes I amass way more than I realize because since I'm not just buying it all at once and seeing it all at once, it doesn't really occur to me until I do a video like this and see it all together that I go, ooh, I really did buy quite a bit this year, didn't I? But that's pretty much everything I got all the kiddos in my life this year for Christmas. I hope that this video was useful to you and maybe gave you some ideas. Based on what I bought, if you can think of any things that my nephews or that my son might like that I haven't gotten yet, there's still time, so let me know in the comments and I might still run out and get more stuff. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for joining me and watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Happy holidays!